Then subsequently, we'll now look at questions on that relates to these 7 laws of indices. Now, I want you to pay attention. In the law of indices, we have 7 laws of indices. But before we go into the laws of indices, I want us to understand certain things. One thing about indices is usually a way of representing numbers in a shortened form. How you can shorten group of numbers, maybe for purpose of statistics or representation. That is it. So the 7 laws of indices are multiplication law, division law, power law, product law, zero index law, negative index law, and root power law. These laws are principles that guide the calculation of indices. Hence, the need for us to get acquainted with these laws so that as we apply them in solving JAM and Y equations, it will make sense and you flow freely. In the multiplication law, the law says that when you have two same numbers, for example, a raised to power 3 times a raised to power 2. The law says that, according to the law of multiplication, it says that the base, which is a, will now be raised to power 3 plus 2. What it means is that when you have two numbers that are multiplying each other, that have powers and the base are the same, all you need to do is to take one of the base and raise it to the power of the powers, the two powers that you have, that is power 3 and power 2. Add them together. When there's multiplication, you add the powers together. That is what the law simply means. When there's multiplication of numbers that are equal, you add the powers together. Like in this case, AA, they are equal. It also involves numbers. When you have numbers, 3 raised to power 4 times 3 raised to power 6. It means that you have 3 raised to power what? What are the powers? The powers are 4 and 6. 4 plus 6, which is equal to 3 raised to power 10. In this case, we have a raised to power what? 5. That is what the law is saying. Then let's come down to the second law, the law of division. The law says that when you have a raised to power 3 divided by a raised to power 2, if the numbers or alphabet are equal and you are dividing these numbers, what do? The powers, you subtract the powers. A raised to power 3 minus 2, which is equal to a raised to power 1. That is what this particular law is saying. It also means that when you have 5 raised to power 3 divided by 5 raised to power 6, this is equals to 5 raised to power 3 minus 6, which is equals to 5 raised to power minus 3. Minus 3. We can further write it if there's need, but let's stop there. We're coming down to where we can apply this kind of question. Now, the power law is saying that when you have numbers, for example, a raised to power 2 and a square, the power law is saying that this is equivalent to saying a raised to power 2 times 2, which is equal to a raised to power 4. That's what the power law is saying. Now, the product law. The product law, when you have numbers like, let's say, 7AB raised to power 2 The product law is saying that in this case, you're having 7 raised to power 2 multiplied by A raised to power 2 multiplied by B raised to power 2, which is equals to 7 raised to power 2 is 49. 49 A square B square. That is what the product law is saying. Okay, the next thing to look at is the zero index law. The zero index law is saying that any number or letter raised to power 0 is 1. For example, A raised to power 0 is 1. The same thing as X raised to power 0 is 1. If you have, let's use a number. If you have 2 raised to power 0 is 1. That is what this law is saying. So in indices, any number that is raised to power 0 is 1. The law of negative index is saying that when you have A raised to power minus 2, that is actually equals to 1 over A raised to power 2. So in this case, the law is saying that when you have a negative, when you have a number or a letter raised to power negative, that has negative power, if you want to remove this negative power, you introduce 1 over the number. The same thing is applicable to when you have 7 raised to power minus 3. It is the same thing as saying 1 over 7 raised to power 3. We have to take note of these laws because we are going to use these laws in solving various questions that involve indices. And generally, these laws also apply. It's also applied in other problems you solve in mathematics. The last law is the root powers law. What does it say? It says that if you have A, or let's just test this around, if S is equals to 1 over 2, if raised to power 1 over 2, rather, if X is raised to power 1 over 2, this is the same thing as saying root X. If you have Y raised to power 3 over 2, is the same thing as saying this 2 now is square. The square root of X in bracket raised to power 3. So these represent the various laws and how they could be applied. Subsequently, we are going to look at the application of these laws. Why I introduce these laws? So that as we begin to solve past questions in JAM and WAEC, you'll be able to follow up and understand why we're applying certain laws to solve these problems. I hope this answers some of your questions on indices. Continue to follow me. Continue to follow me as I take you through various problems under law of indices. We're going to solve various problems that cut across both JAM and WAEC. Share this video. Call your friends to watch. Help them to also succeed. Remember, don't forget to share this video for others to watch and learn. And if you have any problem, feel free to reach out to me. God bless you for watching. Bye.